Well, Scott here with Willie, the cameraman over here, and we are discussing a pretty neat little item that came up. There's a lot of things in gaming that are, I guess you can't call them replica props because they exist in the digital world only, but it's a physical prop of an item that's in the game. And I think most of the times these are pretty big failures for a lot of reasons. They are failures for economic reasons, where they reason, let's say they're going to roll out with a physical asset in the game that's now made a physical asset, okay? So you can buy your own widget. We'll call it a widget. So the widget in the game is pretty cool, and you look at it, and when they make it, it's a very low fidelity, poor copy of it. I'm thinking of that helmet when Fallout 76 came out. They had a Power Armor edition, right? It's not a very good looking helmet. It's not really made well, and then they charge a premium price for it, you know? There are other things that are made quite well that you look at it and go, oh yeah, I'd spend $150, $200 for that. And you go and look and it's $475. And you just say to yourself, it's just not worth it. I just can't say I'll spend $475 for this thing that, yeah, it's a good replica, it's a good fidelity, it looks like the original, it's a wonderful presentation, but damn, is it overpriced. And, you know, there's certain things you reach in life, you know, you go into a gas station and a little 16-ounce soda. Those things that were, what, 85 cents 10 years ago? Now they're $2. I don't care. I'll pull up in a $210,000 car and refuse to spend $2 on a soda. Because at the end of the day, Willie's laughing, but he knows I'm right, dude. At the end of the day, it's $2. It's not worth it. I won't pay it because it's just not worth it. It's not that I don't have the $2, it's that I'm not going to pay $2 for 85 cents worth of soda on a good day, you know. So there's so much stuff that's out there that misses the mark in terms of quality or price point. And when this thing came on the radar, there's at work a lot of times, you know, we see stuff like this and we'll sort of play the, okay, so what do they want for a game? And I was giving Willie a good example. There was a belt-fed upper for the M16, an AR platform. So, you know, you literally, it's a pretty good copy of an M60 upper. You slap it on, now you have a belt-fed AR. And we looked at, okay, what does an average upper go for? What's the machining in this? And we came out with, okay, they're going to tack on a few $100 more, 1,500. They're going to probably say, probably $2,000, right? And it would be painful, but we part with it for the novelty. And then we sort of played, how much do they want? And you go to the website, it's $4,800, and you're like, whoa, nope, not going to happen. And they did a calculation, I guess, where they reasoned they would sell more of these for $4,800 than making, you know, them for, say, $2,000 and selling a butt ton of them. So, for whatever reason companies do this, it always annoys me because I think it's better to get more product out there and make the same profit. I don't know. So anyway, this thing came up, and I took a look at the photographs of it, and it was absolutely beautiful in its execution. And it is the Pip-Boy from Fallout 76. And the box it comes in, the way the kit is presented, like Willie and I were talking about this. There's a car company called Tamiya, and when you open up their car kits for radio control cars, all the pretty bits, the gearboxes, the half shafts are all laid out under this sort of vacuum form clear plastic, and it's a really nice presentation of how complex the model is. And this is packaged the same way, and we'll have pictures up for you of it. It's really packaged the same way when you buy it. It's quite beautiful. And I said, okay, $150, $200, no problem. We'd all pay that. So what do they really want to sell this thing for? So we were thinking, $380, $450 or so. I look at, and it's a company called the Wand Company. And they sell it through ThinkGeek and I think GameStop or Game, whatever the hell it is today. The store I haven't been into in 10 years because there's never anything good there. But they were selling this for, you know, $150. I looked at it, I thought, wow, you people are wonderful. You build a quality product, you sell it for a price that people look at it and go, yeah, I'd buy that, and then they do. Instead of looking at it and going, I'm going to spend $450 on that, even though it's nice. So they really did all things right. So let's talk about the way it comes before you actually open it. is you have the box supplied like this. Now it comes in a protective outer box. And again, they did everything right on this. There's nothing I can look at in this whole kit and go, well, maybe not that. It really is beautiful. They have the etched aluminum plate on the front showing what it is. They have cast aluminum, like this handle with the Vault-Tec logo and everything. And then you open it up. And like I said, when you buy it, it's a presentation of all the pretty bits on top and the rest on the bottom. And you get that wonderful image there. Now, for those of us about my age and Willie's age, there was still a lot of stuff like this in our parents' house when we were growing up. Things that were bought in the 50s and 60s. And you remember, like, you could very well imagine opening up a record player and seeing a photo just like that. You know, really a beautiful presentation. So I kept this box as a display box to display the completed item in, right? So the instructions, we'll talk about that real quick. They're good. And if you look over the instructions before you build it, it'll make sense. So pretty much they give you 2 pages like that. And it looks like a jumble at first, but if you go through and take the time to lay it out and identify all the parts, it's really quite easy. So what do you build? What you build is a replica of the Pip-Boy from Fallout 76, which is, in my opinion, the only good part of the whole game was that this replica got made, because the game was a big, giant, steaming dog turd. But it's full of all sorts of wonderful features. Like this buckle here is like a cast aluminum piece. It has, like, you know, the nylon webbing. This cuff here is, you know, sort of like a leather. It's kind of everything that you would expect. You get all the buttons actually work, and you assemble all of this. This, not one part is put together to another part. So you really do get the enjoyment of assembling it. And it does all sorts of neat stuff. Like here, I'll pop this down. And it comes with the holotape, you know. So you have this holodeck player that opens up, right? So you take your holotape, you know, and it goes, you know. And the screen is interesting. They did an interview with these guys at the Long Company, and they made a great point about the screen. They say, we just stuck in a little image because we know people are going to mod this thing. And they really did. I mean, it's like they made stuff, the stuff that needs to work, like this radio dial here. You can see the little pointer goes up and down as you turn it, you know. Everything on this really does work. And they did wonderful details like these screw terminals and all that. It's marvelous. But for the screen, they did a nice quality image, but it's just a little, like a static cling that goes in there, because they know what's going to happen is people are going to insert all sorts of things in here, right? So I'll show you my solution. I just bought, and unfortunately it wasn't here in time for the video, but I just bought a cheap kids tablet, right? It was literally like new in the store, like 25 bucks. The cheapest Android tablet ever to play a couple games. And there is a Pip-Boy app. Now this is on an iPhone that came off of a motorcycle at 70 miles per hour. But this is kind of what you get, right? So it boots up, right? Then once it boots up, it can actually interface with your PS4, the Xbox, or a PC. So, or I'm going to just go into demo mode here. So it tells me I'm in demo mode, and now I have the Pip-Boy, right? And it all works. I can go to, like I said, the inventory, the map, right? So on this, and I've already, I mean, this is the app. It's the same on Apple as it is on Android, right? So for, you know, a little kid's tablet, you load up the Android Pip-Boy app, and then install that tablet in here, and now you have a Pip-Boy that functions. So that's pretty cool. So my plan is I'm going to put it here in the box, in the display case, with just a USB snaking up the back, powering the display so it's on at all times, and, you know, animated. So just sitting there in the box, it's going to look pretty cool. But I have to hand it to the people at the Wand Company. I know that they probably sold mountains of these. And instead of doubling the price and annoying people, they really gave you a quality product for the money. Nothing about it isn't done just right. I'm amazed at how much thought they put into it, and what a good value it is. So even though Fallout 76 is an unplayable piece of crap, it was worth it just to get this little gem here. So wonderful, fantastic modern day replica prop.
Thanks for watching.